Good morning, everyone. Today we're checking out a bit of an older video from the Food Theaters, only by a week, about how this food can ruin your New Year. And I'm wondering what it actually is, considering on the thumbnail it's a lobster. Anyway, let's hop in and see what the theaters have to say about it.
Say goodbye to 2024. Say
Already
goodbye to
done.
the Eras Tour. Say bye-bye to people calling bye-bye-bye that Deadpool song. And say goodbye to this guy. And what better way to do
Goodbye,
all
Matt
of that than by chowing down on some food that'll give us some much-needed good luck for the year ahead. Whether it's pork, some grapes, or black-eyed peas, there's all kinds of food that'll get you started on the right foot. But
Well, I
whatever
didn't
you
know about
do,
grapes.
do not eat lobster. Hello,
Oh, so it
Internet.
is lobster.
Welcome to Food Theory, the only show that'll bring you good
Say
luck
what?
in the new year. But only if you click that subscribe button. The faster you do it, the more luck. If you do it now, you'll even get 2 lucks for the click of 1. Unbeatable deal,
lucks?
honestly.
Wow.
Especially because that's
Hey, you know that's great, but you're using a 3-leaf clover, which has no luck. So, oops.
what New Year's is all about. Looking to the future, hoping for the best, and throwing Gatsby parties left and right as people completely forgot what that book was actually about. And even though it's not normally seen as much of a food
Man, I read it, and even I honestly forgot what a pinpoint was.
holiday as, say, Christmas
Well.
or Thanksgiving, New Year's is chock full of food traditions. It might be eating things like pickled herring or, and
Oh.
forgive the absolute butchering here, kransekage if you're from Denmark and Norway.
Oh,
Or the one that I
kransekage.
personally grew up with in a Latin household, eating 12 grapes at midnight, one for every month of the year ahead. It's hard. It's harder than it sounds. You need to do it in time with the chiming of the bell in Madrid, or approximately 1 grape every 3 seconds. And if you don't get them all down in time, it's bad luck. What can I say? We're all
Damn.
about high risk, high reward. But something you don't hear people talking about often on New Year's is what foods to avoid. I mean, it makes sense. If there's good luck foods, there have to be some bad luck foods, right?
True.
And if there are, which one is the unluckiest? The food you should run away from at all costs? Well, I'm not one to bury the lead. Like I told you at the very beginning, it's lobster. And by the end of this video, you'll know why you should take any lobster you see at a New Year's feast and yeet it out the window. I should say that I'm not encouraging you
This is lobster! Yeet!
to do that at all. Lobster is expensive, and whoever cooked it went through a lot of trouble. So I stress, I'm not actually recommending you go eating lobsters. I would, however, find it hilarious. A lot of the foods people eat come from a place of superstition or tradition more than a place of hard science. After all, it'd be pretty hard to quantify luck for a legitimate scientific experiment. So logically, the first step in finding our unluckiest food is to break down the symbolism of good ones and flip them on their heads to find the bad. But we can't just
Yeah, please
rely
go
on
on.
superstition here, dang it. We're gonna take it a step further and find out why lobster is our winner, or loser, I guess, using old school science and theorizing.
I guess it would be the winner of bad luck, but the loser of good luck.
Sciencerizing, theorience, scythencerizing. Nailed it! But no matter what you
You're
decide
trying,
to
man.
eat to rein in the new year, make sure you do it with our sponsor for today's episode, Yazio. Yazio is a simple
Yazio?
app that helps you track your calories, macros, and helps you be as informed and in control as possible when it comes to your nutrition. But simple doesn't mean it's not full of useful features. While the basic functions are free, Yazio Pro gives you access to over 2,500 recipes and lets you create grocery lists so you're not constantly swiping back and forth between apps and windows to remember what you need to buy for the 3 New Year's party potlucks you have to cook dishes for.
Oh, that's
Seriously,
useful.
my kitchen is going to look like a war zone. The best part about Yazio for me, though, is the flexibility. Want to up your protein intake for them gains? You can personalize your tracker for that. You can also connect to your smartwatch or activity tracker so that all you have to worry about after your workout is why your legs have turned to jelly. And my favorite
Oh,
part, as someone who
always
likes
hate
to
that.
indulge a little more on the weekends with some Captain Crunch pancakes topped with some vanilla butter and leche condensada syrup. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Yazio lets you set flexible calorie goals on the weekend so that you can enjoy yourself and
Okay.
life and delicious culinary delights. So take your nutrition into your own hands by downloading Yazio. And by using my link, yazio.me/foodtheorist in the description below, you can get 50% off Yazio Pro for an entire year after a free 7-day
Oh,
trial. So
that's
you
a
can
good
take full
deal.
advantage of the app and see for yourself just how great it is. That's
whole year.
yazio.me/food-theorist, or use the QR code on screen now. Thank you again, Yazio, and while you're downloading that, let's get back on track. See what I did did there? Because you track your food.
I get it.
So when it comes to what foods are chowed down on for New Year's, the three main aspects of life people look to get more luck in are money, longevity, and vaguely the future. It seems silly because technically wishing for luck and money and longevity is wishing for luck in your future, but hey, I'm not here to split hairs with the fortune gods. So mostly all foods have something to do with those three aspects. Collard greens and black-eyed peas here in the US are green like money and round like coins. Remember, these are old traditions. Maybe in the future we'll eat more square foods to symbolize credit cards. The same goes for Vasilopita in Greece and most other traditions of eating round cakes. Slurping on toshikoshi soba in Japan brings longevity because of the long noodles. And the grapes I mentioned earlier, in Spain and a lot of Latin American countries, that's an example of the vague good luck in the future that I talked about. Let's take these one at a time. For money, we can rule out any foods that are around if we're looking for bad luck. Good news for you pizza, onion ring, and honey nut Cheerio fanatics. We also have to remove any foods that are green, since that is the most common color of currency around the world. Lobster checks both of these bad luck boxes. Their claws may be round, but they have that asymmetrical, top-heavy look like they're the leg day skippers of the sea. When it comes to the color, they could not be further from green. And I mean that literally. Take a look at the color wheel. Notice the positions of red and green? Yep, exact opposite ends. I won't go too deep into this, but if you are interested to learn—
It's called color theory. Yeah, that's why red and green together actually works. It's called complementary colors.
And more, make sure to check out the Style Theory episode on TikTok's color test. Super fun. The point is, if we're looking for the opposite of good luck and money, it makes sense to eat something that's the furthest thing from green we can find. Next up is longevity. And I know what you're thinking, aren't lobsters immortal? Well, actually, no, that is a myth. There's only one species on Earth that's immortal, and it's a jellyfish. And you wouldn't want to eat it because it's only a half a centimeter big. But even if lobsters aren't immortal,
the reason the box jellyfish is seen as immortal is because when it gets too old or suffers a life-threatening injury, it literally just mass resets every one of its cells back to square one. So it goes from a full adult back to a baby, but it loses any memory it had. And the thing about lobsters is that they are technically able to live forever, but after a certain size, it just becomes too difficult for them to molt. So if you can find one and help it molt every year, you could, in theory, get a even 50-pound lobster.
well, they still live for a really long time, so you would think that eating them would be a good sign of longevity. But there's one other aspect of eating toshikoshi soba that's important. Despite being long, the noodles are easily cut, symbolizing letting go of the year's hardship. And there we have our answer, because you know what is hard? Lobster shells. Sure, their meat is soft and buttery, but getting past the hard exterior isn't
McLobster, I forgot that was a real ass meal.
easy. For Pete's sake, you need tools to break into the claws. Plus, their long lifespans aren't necessarily a good thing either, which brings us to the general vagueness of future being. You know why pork is commonly eaten all over the world for New Year's? Whether it's Marzipanschwein or Gluckschwein, pork sausage, or really anything involving pork? I'll give you a second. 1. That's right! It's because pigs move forward while they eat and scavenge the ground for more food. So eating them signifies moving forward in life and into the new year. At first glance, it seems like odd logic because you would think that most animals on the planet walk forward. Though we can exclude our avian friends because even though they fly forward, eating birds can be a sign of your luck flying away. Seriously. Look, I don't make the superstitious rules. I just follow them and sing the theme song. Lobster is also an exception to the going forward rule because they just as easily and commonly move backwards and sideways. Sure, you can argue that cows and pigs can move backwards and sideways too, but their muscles are designed primarily for forward motion, and anything else is way less efficient. Lobsters, on the other hand, with their—
Hold on, just asking, but aren't almost every animal on Earth to a degree designed to move forward? And, like, okay, someone down in the comments, go ahead and tell me of at least 10 animals on Earth that do not move forward while eating.
10 adorable little leggies can move backwards as fast or even faster than forwards. And they are fast. They can go up to speeds of 11 miles per hour going backwards. To put that into perspective for you, because it blew my mind, the average jogging speed for a human is between 4 to 6 miles per hour. If I tried running that fast backwards, say goodbye to my hammies. Point is, when you're looking forward to a new year, eating food that walks sideways and backwards for its incredibly long life is bad news bears. Or crummy news choose crustaceans. And if that's not
That
enough,
was pretty
lobsters
good.
also get a bad luck rap because they're bottom dwellers. Just because they live on the floor of the sea,
mean
eating
bottom
them
feeders.
also signifies being weighed down or trapped in your past troubles. Despite not actually being bottom feeders, they get lumped into that
Oh.
group. But again, I
I'm
don't
sorry.
make the rules, theorists. So our bottom
Sorry.
dwelling friend checks every superstitious box there is. But like I mentioned, we can't just call it a day because of symbolism. We need to find a way to ground this. And the best way to do that with food is to see how it affects your body. Is there some sort of bad luck it can bring to your digestive system? And it turns out lobster also checks that box pretty well. From
Oh,
a
damn.
nutritional standpoint,
Really?
lobster is actually pretty damn good. It's high in protein, low in fat. In fact, pound for pound, it has roughly 13% more protein than chicken and 9 times less saturated fat. High
Damn,
in vitamins,
that's
high in
good.
calcium. It's pretty much a knockout in the nutrition department. Granted, it's way better just smothered in butter, but by itself, it's very good for you too. So, no luck there. Well, no bad luck anyway. But all hope isn't lost because
Well, damn.
lobster is
All right.
finicky in so many other ways. For one, depending on where it's caught, the water pollution in areas can contaminate the lobster with lead or mercury, leading to
That
heavy
is-
metal poisoning. Second,
Oh,
it is
boy.
extremely perishable. So if it's not handled properly, it can be contaminated with all sorts of harmful bacteria, like Salmonella or Listeria monocytogenes. And anything with
I'm
that
sorry,
many
what?
syllables can't be good for you. And spoilers, it's not. Listeriosis comes with muscle aches, fever, and diarrhea. And if you're
Oh,
someone
that-
that's getting your
that
lobster from one of
sucks.
those tanks that anyone can just walk by, where kids are tapping the glass and sticking their gross little fingers in and swirling the water around, diarrhea might very well be in your future. Even worse is if you're
Yeah.
not the one cooking and you accidentally eat a piece of undercooked
lobster.
contaminated lobster. It would be pretty bad luck for that to happen to you, but hey, doesn't that check this box just perfectly? There's one final bad luck thing associated with lobster, and
Oh,
some
boy.
of you may have been thinking this the entire episode so far. Allergies. Lobsters are highly allergenic. A shellfish allergy is one of the most common types of allergies out there, next to peanut allergies and being intolerant to Tom. But the worst thing about shellfish allergies is
come
that
on.
over half of the people who do have them experience their first reaction as adults. Part of the reason is because
Really
kids
now?
don't typically eat all that much shellfish to begin with, but it also happens because your body can develop allergies later in life too. So you might have
Oh, yeah,
loved
that's
eating
true.
lobster throughout your childhood, if that was a thing your parents fed you regularly, and then you decide to bring in the new year after you turn 25 and biggity bam, suddenly you're going into anaphylactic shock. Not the best start to a fresh new year. With that, we've checked every single symbolic and physical bad luck box we could find with our clawed friends. And when you're out shopping for your New
Oh,
Year's
damn.
meal or out and about at a ridiculous Gatsby party, now you know to yeet that lobster with all your might. Of course, if you're not superstitious and don't buy into that good luck,
There's gotta be some kind of rhyme you can make with the lobster.
bad luck food stuff, go ahead and chow down. Sure, it can be contaminated, undercooked, and you may have developed a fresh new allergy since the last time you ate it, but you just have to ask yourself one question. Do you feel lucky? But hey, that's just a
Oh.
theory. A food theory. Happy New Year.
Alright everyone, well that's going to be the end of today's video, and I hope you all enjoyed this. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Link to the original will be in the description below, and I'll see all of y'all next time when we flick back on. Until then, this is Fox, signing out. Peace.